Nate, we are less than a week away from the election, and everyone is expecting a Republican wave. How big a wave?
Well, in the House, it looks like it might even be a bit bigger than we had thought, where we finally got the projection up over 50 seats in our forecasts over the weekend. And since then, there have been a lot of basically good polls for Republicans coming in at the district level. It could wind up closer to 55, but there is a lot of uncertainty.
So we're looking at maybe a historical anomaly here, right? Where the House flips, but the Senate stays. So the question of why the House will flip, but the Senate won't, is that about the Democratic Senate candidates performing better than the Democratic House candidates, or is it just about the sheer number of seats that
I think it's mostly about the number of seats, right? Where if you had all 100 senators up for re-election this year, I would certainly expect Republicans to win a majority, and maybe even kind of a filibuster-proof majority, even a veto-proof majority.
And on the gubernatorial level, there's been a lot of talk about Congress, but I sort of feel like the governors are getting left out of this conversation a little bit, even though that has a long-term impact that maybe is more significant than Congress.
Well, in a couple of ways. I mean, number one, gubernatorial candidates are future senators and sometimes future presidents and presidential candidates, but also this is a redistricting year, which means that, a lot of House seats are up for grabs, especially in the Midwest, where you have states losing seats in Congress. It becomes kind of a game of musical chairs, which incumbent gets left out. Well, if you have a Republican governor in charge of that process, you can bet it's a Democratic incumbent who's going to be left hanging and have a difficult time with his redistricting. So, there might be a bonus with Republicans winning these governorships in the Midwest in particular that amounts to another 5 or 10 seats in the 2012 elections in the House.